everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Cannabis Tech Talks, brought to you by Polyscience and Summit Research. We're here at MJBizCon, and I'm sitting down with James Yee, CEO of Leaf Trade. So before we started recording, you were telling me a little bit about the background of Leaf Trade.
Yeah.
And before we dive into what the platform is and what I think is a super valuable service for the industry, tell me more about your story. How did you get involved in the cannabis space?
So I actually I'm the owner of another software company as well, prior to starting Leaf Trade. And in 2015, Illinois launched what's arguably the very first of the highly regulated, newly emerging cannabis markets.
Okay.
Happened to know a few people that were early license holders in Illinois, needed help with software and technology to get operational and get up and running for their businesses. They reached out. I was like, yes, absolutely, I would love to help. Quickly realized that the solutions that they were looking for just didn't exist. It's true today that there aren't as many solutions available for this industry than others, but way more true back then.
Oh yeah.
And just ended up, consulting and helping them out for probably the next 18 months, really learning about the pain points of their business, and saw that the way that retail dispensaries who needed to stock their shelves up with products were doing business buying from wholesalers, brands, suppliers in their market.
Yeah.
It was just taking up more than half of their time, and was like, this is a big pain point.
The inventory part is such a pain point. I'm seeing more behind the scenes stuff lately with how it works at dispensaries.
Yeah.
The inventory seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that a lot of it is because it's a young industry and people are doing a lot of manual processes, right?
Yeah.
As an example, like on the retail level, they're really depending on people kind of anecdotally saying, oh, I think we should buy this, I think we should buy that. Now, that process can all be done in a more digitized way on a platform like Leaf Trade.
Okay.
And then you can leverage that data to make more informed decisions on like what you should buy, and kind of streamlining that whole operational process. Right?
And so are there other companies that are doing something similar to Leaf Trade, or what makes it unique?
Yeah, I'd say there's a small handful of people that are trying to do similar things. I'd say the vast majority of technology companies in the space are more in the POS level, retail POS level, or other areas. But what makes us unique is that we're not just a place, like a marketplace where the buyer and the seller come to meet and explore products. We're much more than that. And I think where we thrive is how we help the operators streamline all of their workflows, right? So as an example, on the seller side, all of their sales workflows, all of their packaging and fulfillment workflows, and accounting and finance workflows all happen inside Leaf Trade. So just shaving thousands and thousands of hours for companies like Curaleaf and Verano and GTI and et cetera, right?
And so this is a solution that's nationwide, being tech-based. You can get it anywhere.
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yep.
And then how are your clients responding to the ability to do this so much more efficiently?
So on the most basic level, right? The retail dispensary with a single login can centralize all of their buying activity, for everything from seeing what's available, exploring what the products are, buying them, and managing the whole order lifecycle with every licensed cultivator in their respective market in one place. So imagine a world where you have thousands of brands now in a state, and they're all do things a little differently. One's like, hey, we only take phone call orders, we only take spreadsheets, or we've made our own e-commerce platform, and now you have to figure out all these thousands of different ways of doing business. Well, Leaf Trade solves that by making it really simple and centralizing it in a standardized way, which the buyers, the retail dispensaries, love. On the flip side, I think, again, is where we thrive, right? Where the sellers, right, the brands, the wholesalers, and suppliers, they manage all of their workflows, operational workflows, in a single place, just shaving thousands and hundreds of hours per week.
Something I thought was interesting is the way that your team phrased sort of a theme, I guess, for your company, which is the single source of truth for all supply chain needs from seed to sale.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, so again, I think that the core of where we started was addressing the issues in the B2B wholesale transaction, right?
Yeah.
The licensed retailers purchasing from licensed brands and cultivators. So that really put us in a very unique position, like right in the middle of the supply chain, right? And that, by that very nature, we integrate with all of the other kind of platforms that our clients use, upstream and downstream, right? So ERPs, inventory management tools, and then downstream into POS systems. So we essentially integrate into all those platforms and kind of are the source of truth for all of the data that happens upstream, and then kind of helping them to pass it along downstream in a really efficient way.
So I know another pain point for the industry is payment solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about LeafPay.
Yes. So, in the fulfillment process, right, everything from making your products available and discoverable all the way down to like successfully delivering it, fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
The last step to really close the loop on that is payments,
Yeah.
which we all know is very convoluted in this space, right?
It's crazy.
Yep.
People are showing up with massive checks. People are getting banks shut down.
Exactly, yeah.
I've just seen time and again so many crazy problems arising for people.
Yeah, exactly. And so LeafTrade is the platform. It's the interface where the transaction happens. It's the point of transaction for these orders. And so what we did was we just embedded the payments step into that process. Now, the kind of normal vendors for other industries, like the Stripes of the world, wouldn't service us. So we actually built the technology ourselves natively into the platform, along with partnerships with financial institutions that service the industry to come up with a fully packaged solution, payments management solution for our users. Yeah.
What does that look like? Is it direct financial transactions from your dispensary to your supplier?
Exactly. Yeah.
All straight through the platform.
Yep. And the
That's
banks are our bank partners are the intermediaries of those transactions, and so it's almost just as simple as like us checking out on Amazon and kind of going through that process. However, wholesale is a little bit different, right? It's not like you press pay and then it gets paid right away and then you just get your product shipped to you. Wholesale is a little bit more, involves more steps. They oftentimes want, term periods on their invoices, right? Like 30 days or 14 days or whatnot. And we support all of those business rules to service our clients and our users and make that payment piece like super automated.
How have you run into challenges working with banks to set that up?
I would say not necessarily challenge, but a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bureaucracy with financial institutions for good reason, right? There's liabilities and you have to go through a lot of diligence processes, right? And so like that was a labor of love. There was a lot of time that we invested into that and really were able to manifest and launch a solution, early this year.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know I was talking with someone from a nonprofit, and they told me that their bank had shut them down, and they had spent the past 6 months working to reestablish a banking relationship so that they could pay their employees even.
Yeah.
So I think for a lot of people, being able to bring a tech solution into that space and someone who can make those relationships with the bank on their behalf perhaps might be really helpful.
That's really funny that you mentioned that, because I've also heard that it's a really big pain point in the nonprofit space. So thanks for the idea. Maybe we'll cross over into that.
New client base.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So what's on the horizon for LeafTrade? Have you got new projects that you're looking at?
Yeah, so we've obviously been super hyper-focused, just really owning the B2B point of transaction in the cannabis industry, right? The big pillars for this year, for 2022, has been LeafPay. It's been marketing solutions for our clients, right? After all, LeafTrade is the place where all of the licensed operators in the industry are, from the retail side and on the wholesale side, right, doing business with each other. So what better way, what better channel for brands and cultivators to speak to their audience than on Leaf Trade, right? So we've been very active in growing that part of our business. And then third, data, right? Data. And our ethos is not like packaging data up and like selling it to third parties, right? It's all about how do we leverage our clients' data and give them powerful business intelligence and analytics so that they can leverage that to improve and optimize their own business, right? And so it's all about the client for us, and that's been a powerful piece that we've been helping our clients out with. And then it's just continued expansion into the Western states. We started out in the highly regulated markets out east and have become the leading platform there. And now that we've kind of been successful at that, we've been ramping up very quickly into the Western states like Arizona, Nevada, soon California and Colorado and the rest and beyond, maybe international.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's exciting. So are you packaging things, are you offering all of those services for one price, or is this like a package deal? You can choose components?
Yeah, so it's very much, we try to simplify our model as much as possible. So at the most basic level, it's for every order that's successfully completed on our platform, the seller is paying a flat fee for it, right?
Oh,
so it's if they're not doing that many transactions, they're not paying that much, right? So it's really incentivizes us as a company to ensure that we're helping our clients to get as much business as possible and be successful. Exactly.
Make it easier for them to do more transactions.
Yeah, because when they succeed, we succeed.
Totally.
Right? Yeah.
I like that.
One thing I forgot to mention was integrations is just a core piece of what we do.
With
right?
POS systems?
Yeah, just like really just in the whole ecosystem of cannabis technology, right?
Okay, yeah.
After all, we are the leading platform of choice for the enterprise level companies out there that have large organizations, right? And so we have to be able to address complex issues that they're facing, and integrations and being able to speak into their tech ecosystem is like number one. It's key.
Yeah.
So that's we're very focused on that as well.
No, you have to have that, and it's sadly overlooked part of tech. I think a lot of times is how they play together.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that you're focused on that. So for our listeners who want to learn more about Leaf Trade and maybe follow along with what you're doing, James, where can they go to keep up with you?
Yeah, you guys can go to our website, leaf.trade, and you can get everything there. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I super appreciate you sitting down to talk with us.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It's always fun to talk about technology and sort of how it's expanding and evolving in the space. Yeah. For all of our listeners, if you enjoyed learning about emerging technology and you want to learn more about it, be sure to subscribe to Cannabis Tech Talks. We're on all the major platforms. Come by and see us if you're at MJBizCon. We're handing out magazines. We've got the Golden Ticket promo we're doing. So on behalf of James Yee and Patricia Miller with Cannabis and Tech today, I'd like to thank our sponsors, PolyScience and Summit Research. And until next time, stay elevated.
Hey, hello, I'm Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. Wait, you didn't think people would know who I am? Durachill. This is Durachill. This is Durachill. This is Durachill. No, hey, I don't talk like that. You want me to sell this? Buy it. Try Durachill or else. If you want something really nice in your laboratory, buy Durachill. You can't go wrong.